Alright, so for this video, I'm going to show you the basics of how to use Jamboard. So to get there, you're going to go to the waffle, slide on down to this icon right here that says Jamboard. Okay, and the first thing you'll see is all the Jamboards that you have created or any that you have copied from other people's templates. Okay, and then you'll see this plus sign. So this plus sign is for you to create a new jam. Okay, you can also go by here and you can possibly see some that are, these are all the ones that are not owned by me, and these are all the ones that are owned by me. And then you see the copies or they are owned by other people. But if we go to this plus sign, it will give us a blank template to work with. You can change the background. You can have dots as your background. You can have lined paper, grid, which would be really great for math, blue, or black if you wanted to look like a chalkboard. Okay, but white is typically what I use. If you put something on here, let's say you drew a line, you're like, ugh, I don't like that, and you don't want to get the eraser out, you can just press clear frame and it completely erases it for you. Or you could also go to the undo button and get rid of a certain part. So this right here is your pen, and you can choose the size. This is a pen, this is a marker, highlighter, and then a brush. Marker is probably the easiest one to use just because it shows up thicker. So if I just wanted to write hello, I could. And then you can also download the Jamboard app, and the Jamboard app has a lot of, their features are a little bit easier to use than the computer because you are able to take something that you wrote and turn it into actual text. So that might be something to think about. You can change the color of your text. So if you wanted to use the highlighter now, boom. And there you go, it works like that. If I wanted to erase that and I didn't like that, I could just go like that, or once again, clear frame gets rid of all of it. This is just a pointer. It allows you to point to whatever you're wanting to show on the screen. This is sticky notes. This is probably the feature I use the most. So these are nice because you're actually able to type them in. So when you're thinking about something like brainstorming with your class, maybe you want ideas for your next class party. And so you put that in the middle, and if you give your students access to this, they will all be able to make a sticky note. And, they might say, oh, ice cream party. All their ideas will show up on the screen. They just have to press save. And you can see you also can change the color of your Post-it note or have no color, but it wouldn't show up as a Post-it note that way. It would just show up as text. You can also click here, these three buttons, and you can edit your Post-it note, duplicate it, or delete it if you wanted to. This right here is to insert an image. So let's say I want something from Google Slides, such as this Foursquare template, and I want that to be my Jamboard. So I could have that image. I'm going to get rid of this Post-it note, put it in the corner, and just enlarge it to where it fits the whole screen. So now I have the Foursquare template on my Jamboard. And so all we have to do is we can either use the pen or the marker to write in our topic or whatever, or we can use Post-it notes, which, like I said, I probably use those more than anything else. This is a laser. It kind of just lets you point into a direction that you want to go. And then this up here allows you to make additional frames. So if you really like that frame and you want to use it again, duplicate, or if you want to make a new frame, that's fine too. If you want to get rid of one of these, you don't need it anymore, you can delete that. But you can go through all of them up here or down here. Okay, and then these three buttons allow you to name your Jamboard. So let's just say this is my example. That's okay. You can download it as a PDF. You can save your frame as an image. You can remove it, make a copy, um, anything like that. I would say save frame as image is really good, especially if you're using this for math and you're coming up with an example. That way you can share this with your students. And then share is pretty important. If you want your kids to use Jamboard with you during a Google Meet, you want to make sure that you change the access. And so you can say anyone with a link would be the easiest way, but you could just do Jefferson County Public Schools because they would all be logged into their Chromebook anyways. So either way works. And then you want to make sure they are an editor, not just a viewer, because otherwise they will not be able to write on the Jamboard at all. But yeah, that's about the basics.